Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
In the immortal words of author and poet Anne Rice, when describing her upbringing in southern Louisiana, they call me Bad A, and I'll punish you. You ain't my equal, we ain't people, and I ain't one of you. Since '98, I grabbed my plate up off the lunch table. I told Mama I'm thugging outside. We don't need cable. Oh, wait a minute. That was Lil Boosie. Never mind. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Followed by 1. Woo-hoo! As always, America. You
You're
are
welcome, baby.
welcome. You are welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
This is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, coming to you even clearer and cleaner and more. I don't know what else you get. Got a new internet provider.
Nice.
Yeah, well, so, and I don't even care, right? I'm not with them. So Xfinity, suck on it, okay? I don't know. We don't really have that many. Well, back on the bayou, you had no choice. You had, when we were, you grew up in the great metropolis of Pankerville. So
That's right.
You probably had a plethora of.
We had cable or no cable.
Yeah, well, sort of where it was growing, and for the most part, looking back in the day, for the most part, our cable was pretty dang stable, but you never had cable go out, right? Unless some couillon chu cutting their grass, clipped your wire,
Right.
or
Hit the pole or something, knocked it down.
Yeah, they didn't bury those cables back in the day. It was all
dude, no, it's just on existing poles.
Think about that here. You know, that's one of the things growing up, or as you get older, you pull into neighborhoods, you start noticing, bro, they don't got no power lines around here. They bury that stuff. So
but the power companies will tell you it's harder to work on when it's underground.
Well, of course. You got to dig. You got to try not to cut. Yeah. I remember one time we were living in Cutoff in our Cutoff house. Shout out West 93rd Street Cutoff. And our friends at Kale, I guess it was still Kale back then. I mean, they had, and I played basketball with some of these. I'm good friends with some of these folks, but they must have had a new couillon working on the truck, and they somebody was getting cable to like a trailer or something, because that's also the blessing of, you and I have spent a lot of times complaining about HOAs, right? And HOAs are a pain in the behind. But sometimes HOAs are a little bit helpful for you not to, have to fight with your neighbor.
Not to be the one to go knock on your neighbor's door and complain.
Right. Because you sort of go tattletale to the HOA.
Right. That to me is the only value of the HOA, so that I can anonymously complain.
So one time, one of these couillons was going to run cable to the trailer that was placed like 10 feet from our house. You got to love that too, right? That's the other thing about living without any limits. They put stuff right up to the property line. There it is, right? So you remember we used to look out and there was a nice little yard right here outside the bedroom window? Well, now it's the backside of somebody's trailer. Well, okay. But he ran the cable, right? From one end of our yard all the way across, touch the roof of our house to get to the trailer on the other side. And it was like, I'm not an engineer. I'm not a planner. I'm not, but you sit there thinking, do you literally think that, like that? Did you walk away from that thinking, man, that's a job well done right there? I got a cable.
At least he didn't run a splitter on your cable and just tap it into the other guys.
He might have. But touching on the roof, then we had to call Carly and say, "What y'all doing? Y'all can't leave a cable." And I forget how they ended up fixing it, but
I honestly think that if I walk down, in my little back area, a little creek back there, I think there's an exposed cable on the edge of the creek that goes to one of the neighbors' houses because it just, I guess they couldn't bury it well or whatever. But
luckily, you're not a diab, because when we were growing up, man, not even meaning any. It's funny the things you would do as a boy just to be stupid, just like
like that, baby.
yeah, you would. You just nothing personal. You don't even know where this cable goes. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
Just
like you
want
would
to
do
see.
it. That's right. You just thinking, well, that's kind of stupid just to have a. I can't believe I can like cause some chaos here by just clipping this thing. But there you go. And what was it?
I might have to do that. You're talking about
So
your new cable.
we had no choices. Okay, so now we live here, Sugarland, Texas. We have minimal choices, but then now I guess AT&T came through. And I really dislike one company when I look at AT&T as being the good guys, right? Because I'm sure they're not the good guys.
I have AT&T. Well, I don't have cable. I have internet through
Okay,
AT&T.
okay, you got fiber optic.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. See, that's what they did. They came through here, and I think I might have told that story. We had the yard crew that showed up, and none of them habló inglés.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, this is the same crew that they went through my neighbor's yard, and they ended up clipping his power line,
Nice.
underground power line. But they
Don't y'all have Texas One call, man? You're supposed to have to call to see where those lines are.
hey man, well, here's what happened: is they didn't cut it all the way through. They nicked it, and apparently it didn't immediately present a problem. So I'm guessing underground, and that's the
Wait
other
until some
thing.
moisture got down there.
Well, here's the other thing we learned, and but this is fascinating stuff for all of you non home whatever worrier abouters.
Yeah, just think about this story when you're watching TV later.
Yes, yes. We also found out. Well, I actually knew this. My neighbor found out the hard way that when our houses were built, apparently the house I own right now was built right before they changed the regulations in Texas about how you bury cables. So now when you bury them, you have to bury them in a pipe. You have to bury them in a
Okay.
like PVC or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Back in our day, it was just a
Threw that baby in the
rubberized.
ground.
Man, that's exactly right. You just buried that son of a gun down there. And hey, for the most part, if you don't go digging, it's fine. It'll last, 50, 60, 100 years. But when you go digging, and that's what the AT&T guys did, they nicked him, and then eventually he just texted me. It's one of those weird texts. Hey Dave, half the power in my house is off. Right? Yeah, he was getting power to some things and not
Weird.
power to other things. And I just thought that was weird.
I guess
thought,
maybe I would have just thought the line. I don't know. I'm not an electrician by any stretch of the imagination. I would have
right.
thought the load was on the whole line as opposed to different portions of the line carrying different.
You've already surpassed my knowledge of how any of that stuff works. It sounded to me like, but my thing is, sounds like a fuse box kind of issue to me. You must have breakers that wasn't the case, and that's what happened. So you think it's hard to get a company the size of an AT&T or whatever to fix something normal? It's when you got to call and show pictures of, hey, you couillons clip my power line. By the way, he didn't even have AT&T. None of us have AT&T at the time. But they have the right of way. They sign a deal with the city, so they can basically walk up to you and say, hey, there's an easement here. We got to run this thing. So, oh man, as we would say on the bayou, talk about a radot. Oh Lord. He had to end up having an electrician come out. That guy couldn't do it. They had the power company come out. They had to run him a temporary line or tried to run a temporary line. Then they just ended up splicing it, which doesn't sound like you know,
Yeah. Hey, bro. Did he have some electrical tape? It was good.
man, there's something about splicing your power main. But anyway, so AT&T's in our neighborhood. We I this past week had a couple of actual work things to do involving sort of what we're doing here, Juan. Sort of
Yeah,
what we're
but
doing.
the kind you get paid to do,
Time you
and
get paid,
the
and
kind of people who get upset if you can't do it.
I just basically moved the camera around a little bit more, right? And I'm telling you, I set this call up. It's me. It's this guy great guy that I do some work with, or their company I do some work with. He's out I think he's in California. I forget what city in California he's sitting in. The guy from his company that was sort of running the recording, whatever, he's in New Zealand. Right.
Wow.
Now, he didn't need to be in New Zealand. It's just the guy that would normally do it in California. He was on vacation. So,
Hell,
and
it's
I don't know,
tomorrow for that guy.
it was 2:30 in the morning when we were starting to do it in his time, right? It was 12:30 here. So he's in New Zealand. I got a guy in California. It's me. We're waiting. And we're waiting for, I'm not going to give the guy's name, but like the vice chair of one of the largest banks in the country. Like it's hysterical to me that I know somebody like that well enough that he agrees to do. But it's basically what we're doing here.
Yeah.
I don't say couillon that much. I think my accent's probably as bad. But anyway,
You're probably a little more prepared with,
you would think I would be, right? But I kind of am. Kind of am. It's not as much show and tell when we do that. But so wait, the kind of person that when you line up for this person to participate and chat with you, when you get a tight window, we got a 30-minute tight window. There must have been 3 or 4 other people from that company on, like, not on camera but online monitoring stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get to a
like a
certain point,
publicist gonna tell you can't ask that.
100%, bro. And this
Mr. Martin, you got 30 seconds.
and this company is big enough that there are several publicists, like you know what I'm saying, like these various execs have
Couple
their own.
lawyers and
So all this is going on. He gets on, looks good to see you, man. I'm not making this up. It's like a sitcom here. I lean in like, awesome, I welcome in, hey, good to see you. And as I'm talking to him, he freezes, like I can see he's frozen, and I'm like, oh crap, I can't believe one of the biggest banks in America, he's sitting where he's sitting, and they got a bad internet connection. And then I look at the other 2 people on my screen, and they're frozen. You know what that means? It's thank you, Xfinity. Thank you so much. My internet.
Hey, babe, I think you got a bad connection.
Then it starts, dude. This thing took weeks to set up, probably 20 different email, lining everything right, trying to look, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to look like, hey, you know what you're doing. Done. I'm like, and it's nope, it's up. I'm looking at my other computer, freaking internet's down. Then it's like, okay, grab the phone. Let's see if I can hotspot this thing. And miracle. So it's just a miracle of miracles. And the connection wasn't great. And looking back at the video now, there are a couple of, but at that moment, I said, I don't care if it costs 5 times as much. Xfinity, you gone. I know I had the same thing 2 days later, not the same, but another really big call to be on. I get a text the night before, hey, your internet's going to be out all morning tomorrow while we upgrade. Right. So made me miss Kale. Kale never did me that.
Yeah. Well, they were on the ground. No, they were in the air.
They were in the air.
So now you got fiber optics.
I got fiber optics. They tell me I got speeds that I didn't have before. I guess I did. I mean,
it's odd because some people so again, I've said this a zillion times. I'm in a little townhouse or section of my neighborhood, which was built or developed after, I guess, a different phase of the neighborhood. But in the townhomes, we have fiber optics. Okay. But in the other parts of the neighborhood, they don't, which you would think they would have better stuff than I would, because their homes are obviously more expensive. But so we always come up with that conversation. How'd you get fiber optics? I just got it, bro.
I'm special, bro. I'm special.
I'm Juan.
You say I'm an influencer. They wanted me doing some influencing. So
the other week, you don't have AT&T on your phone, do you?
No, I'm a Verizon guy, and I'm not going to hate on them because they.
Well, we had the big outage here a couple of weeks ago.
AT&T.
AT&T. Mine didn't go down. I still had it, but everybody else on my plan lost it. Although
they just setting us up. They setting us up, Juan.
They did send me a text message. Yeah, they sent me a text message at 4 a.m. a couple of days later to let me know that because of the trouble, I would save $5 on my bill.
How long was it off? It was off for quite a while, right?
I think it was most of the morning.
Yeah, I think I was traveling when that was happening, and I didn't have AT&T, so I just was hearing that they were off. They were off all over. But all I can tell you is that Verizon does not have good reception in downtown Afton, Wyoming. I did find that out. I was doing something, and he said, "We want to tell you, Verizon doesn't have a good signal here." All right. As luck would have it, I'm seldom in Afton, Wyoming, so I'll.
Well, good. No need to change.
But we also we were reminded, salespeople on the phone. Hey, let's lop them in with everybody else. What's been our mantra to the world for the 3 years we've been doing this?
Yeah,
everybody's lying. Everybody's lying. Some folks don't even know they're lying. Most of them do.
That means they're lying with a good heart.
At a minimum, they're telling stuff that they really don't know. They're selling stuff that they really, but it's a lie. So, man, let's investigate. And AT&T just got to this area. So, man, we get email all the time. We're getting email, hey, we're in your market and blah, 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 blah. And, I kind of ignored it. But then they gave me, Xfinity gave me reason to say, no, you guys are done. So we start talking to them about what's it take, because it's fiber optic, right? So that's different, I'm guessing. I mean, I don't have it's not like you could just come and tap into I'm calling it a coaxial cable. I don't know what the cable is that runs through you, whatever.
Back in college, it was coaxial cable.
Okay, I don't think it's that anymore. I don't know what it is, but bro, it's the cable that comes in through my garage. I'm pointing this way for all of you that aren't watching the video. I'm pointing toward where my garage is. Probably got a possum sleeping in there right now. On the back side of that, and I have a cable that runs through the back of my detached garage, through the overhang deal, through the attic, all the way into my office here. Okay. So I'm talking to the guy saying, do you need to drill through my house? Like, how do you get that there? And he said, no, we just tap into wherever your internet taps into now. And it's like, okay, but understand, right? This is fiber optic, right? Yeah. I said, you telling me that you can just plug right into the cable I have? Oh, yes, sir. I said, no, I got probably 40 yards of cable that goes from where it is to where it needs to be. You telling me that's not going to slow it down? I'm asking basics. Like I thought this was, fiber optics. How can fiber optics work if you got to run the last 40 yards of it through a standard cable? Oh, I forget what crap he said. And I was like, well, as the guy, I mean, why wouldn't he know what he was selling? That lying piece of crap, man.
See, I'm looking at where mine comes in, and it goes straight to a box, and it's not a coaxial cable.
Yeah, no, dude. As I talk to you right now, behind me, there's a new hole in my wall that they drilled into my office yesterday to get, because the technicians show up and they're like, or the technician shows up and says, "No, man, that's. I'm sorry, they told you that." Yeah, me too. But I mean, I'd have done it anyway. But yeah. And then the next day, somebody calls, and since we had signed up for internet, and it was my wife on the phone, man, they tried to sell her security, electricity, whatever.
Hey, man, you get a bundle.
She got to the point, she says, I know this is your job. I am not buying anything, right? Like, we don't even have the internet we signed up for yet, right? Let's see what happens there before. But there you go.
Yes, satisfy me with my existing product.
Help, yeah.
But once you get in that loop, man, I stupidly clicked on something on Facebook a couple of weeks ago on some hair restoration thing. Obviously, I've been bald for a long time. I'm not interested in any hair restoration thing.
Man, at this point, don't.
I was just curious. Dude, I now get, text messages, followed. It's the phone call and a voicemail followed by a text message. Yeah, 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh man, yeah. They figure. Oh, look, he's a hot prospect.
Yeah. Look at that big bald head.
I make the mistake of I watched. I guess and the reason I watched the first one. There's this chef on. I guess he's everywhere. He ends up on. I guess it's Instagram. I don't even know how I end up. By Facebook. Well, he was on, but he looks like Peter Torito. Okay, the guy looks like Peter Torito. He's got a very deep voice, and he's a chef. He's a legit chef. But people have him watch videos of them making things, and he just comments on them, and he's really funny. And he grades it 1 to 10. But anyway, so I made the mistake of that guy looks like Peter Torito. Punch on it, dude. Now that guy's all over my feet. I mean, that's all. It's pretty good though, you know. And then, boy, you make the mistake once you watch 2 or 3 of them. That's it.
I've looped in going down the rabbit hole of body cam footage, police body cam
Oh
footage of
man,
them
that
arresting drunk people.
well, that's
And
pretty.
I have a newfound respect for police.
Oh
The
yeah,
stuff, the verbal abuse that they have to put up with. There's no way I would, if I would have ever been a cop, and I'd be in jail because I'd have
yeah.
beat the crap out of somebody. I'd have handcuffed you
I
and beat you.
they did that back in the day. That's how it was handled back in the day. Hey man, you think of the days of Bobby Tardo and Duffy Bro, or let's go back to Ayo Rapidly. There weren't no cameras back then. There weren't no phones back then. That's how'd that
Bro,
guy
you
end up?
fell.
How'd that guy end up beat to hell? I don't know. You know, we were helping him in the car, and then he tripped. Several
Banging his
times.
head on the window.
We told you not to drink and drive. He was apparently so drunk that he beat him. He beat himself up against the car. I don't know. It was crazy, man. Yeah, yeah. But I have a feeling while it may have been more conducive to illegality and a little corruption. You know what? We would trade corruption for less crime these days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about it. So what are you more in trouble from? A dirty cop or a flat out criminal?
Well, there's our new governor in Louisiana is trying to, I guess, call back some criminal justice reform aspect or bills or whatever laws, just changes to the system, making it a little harder to get paroled. Um, you get a longer sentence for carjacking. So again, tougher sentencing.
Yeah.
Well, Baton Rouge's Al Sharpton is of course raising 3 kind of hell.
Does he call
And
himself Baton Rouge's Al Sharpton,
no,
or is
that's
that
what I
just
call
your
him. That's
tag?
what
All right.
that's what I call him.
Very
That's what he is.
descriptive, though. You don't have to say much more than that.
Right.
That's
So
okay.
again, it's we're it's targeted is what they're calling it, and I said, yeah, it's targeted at people who commit crimes. Stop create. It's real easy to not get a longer sentence in jail.
Don't get the first
Don't
one.
go to jail.
You know what yeah, you know what yeah. If you have no jail time that you deserve, getting twice that is still 0.
Right.
Yeah. I
Don't criticize the reaction without looking at the action that caused the reaction.
carjackings though, man. I mean, that should be death penalty, right? I mean, be honest. I mean, let's okay. I'm gonna guess that if you start ranking the worst crimes, I mean, I guess some heinous stuff you don't want to talk about, but I mean, murder's up there. I mean, like, carjacking's pretty.
It's like breaking into somebody's home if you think about it.
I think it's almost yeah. I guess home would be.
If you're in there, I mean, it's like a home
That's the
invasion.
point.
Yeah,
That's the
you're
point.
in there. It's terrorizing you.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope he gets that passed. Has Louisiana got their act together now? Because I know the governor can do a lot of things. It always seems that when one side has a governorship, they can do whatever the heck they want, regardless of who's in the
Well,
House
he's
and
got
Senate.
they've got like a super majority of Republicans on, so
All right,
he can do a lot.
there you go. All right, Louisiana, good on you. Good on you. Meant to show you this. I was so in the process of when I find out that, oh wait, the guy is going to have to actually come through my office, punch the hole and stuff. So you start looking around and realizing yeah, to clean the desk. I have my desk is
Somebody's coming in.
several times a year. I got to do a purge, right? Because I have the terrible habit. Well, I don't know if it's terrible. It works for me. I jot notes on everything. Like you should have. Like I've got more of these little pads, but I don't use them.
Look, I don't know why I don't throw any of these papers away. These are all podcast notes, and that's the only reason it's up here.
Man, look, and then a lot of these banks I work with, they give these nice leather bound. I don't know what they pay for these
portfolio
things.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is, the sheets in there don't tear off. It's like I don't journal, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what my wife says. What's a journal? So journals. I don't. I got what? I'm writing down my deep thoughts when I'm traveling. Right? How many pages would have? That guy's a couillon shoe. Let me tell you. Let me tell you where I was the last time I got aggravated by a country. Um, but I got so I have to purge because I'll write crap down on a napkin, on a envelope. I'm big on that. There's envelopes I get that I don't really open, and then I then I find
And
little
let me
nuggets.
guess, you're not sure what you wrote, but you know where you wrote it
No, no, no.
and
I'm
where
just
it
the
is.
opposite. No, no.
Are
I'm
you?
I'm sorry, bro. I'm just the opposite. No, it's actually kind of sometimes it's helpful because when I got to write as much as I do, I forget that I jot. That's why they say musicians do that. Musicians say they learn that if they have something comes to their head, whether it's a lyric or whether it's a comedians do the same thing. When something just sort of strikes you, oh, that'd be funny, or that's a good note, you have to immediately write it down or capture it in some way because you will forget it.
Yeah, it
And
was a
so
whole
I
Seinfeld episode where um, the maid in Jerry's hotel room threw away his little crumpled up piece of paper, and it was a joke that he was going to do on
oh
the Tonight Show.
man, well there you go. And you know what? And that's based on a true story. I promise you, because
Oh
that
yeah,
that's
I've done when I was doing creative writing for ads, and
mm-hmm.
you come up with a thought during the night, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna say it to myself 10 times, and I'm gonna remember it.
Jeez.
Wake up in the morning, I don't have a clue what the word was, but I
Ye-
used to sleep with a notepad on the side of my bed.
Dude, you lucky it comes to during the night. I'll have a thought in the middle of the freaking day where I know I only got about like 3 seconds of something else I got to take care of, and it's gone. I'm just like, oh yeah, that'd be funny. Crap, what was I thinking about? So anyway, I got to go through all that stuff and sort out what's this, what's that, and then realize, okay, along the walls of my office, right, it becomes like the office slash storage. I got that's a box of it's sometimes it's the papers and the stuff that's a little bit sentimental that okay, I got to get this crap off my desk.
But you don't want to throw it away.
I don't want to totally throw it away, so I'm going to put it in a box and right there. I had a boss, Mr. Wingate, back in the day, and he had a big office, and it was official office in a bank. So and he saw people all the time, right? So people, right? But he is a lot like me, man. He hung on to stuff, and he didn't know. So they would bring in red wagons. Now his office was this big, like these what is it,
Red flyer.
flyer, old, like cool looking, antique looking wagons, and they put files and stuff in there. By the time I left that company, he must have had 6 or 7 of those things.
He had a fleet.
He had a fleet of red wagons just over in the corner, all and on first glance you would think, oh, that's a nice no, that's just he was like, no, don't throw that away. I might need that, and just put it back there. That and a large gun collection. And I mean, with a bank CEO with a gun collection in the bank.
Well, he was protecting y'all.
Good dude. Good dude. I missed the guy. But while I'm going through stuff, came across some things. So for those of you that have been watching this podcast for the past 3 years and have wondered, I bet you those guys aren't even licensed to be doing this. Man,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I found this is, hey, and it's laminated. Okay. This is
Dude, that
from
makes it official.
dude, this is FCC Form 753 Part 2. All right. Those of you taking notes at home from the United States of America. Remember when we had a country? Okay. This was it. The
I
United
had
States
one of those.
Federal Communications Commission. Restricted radio telephone operator permit. Right there, baby.
Nice, nice.
Got my signature on it back when I used to sign like a high schooler, very neat. Remember we used to sign we used to sign our names that you could actually read them.
Dude, yeah.
Like if you
If I
signed your name,
if I signed my name so you could read it, it would look like I was about in the 3rd grade.
right? Yes. Well, and in our sons, my age, they just print everything. So their signatures are sort of stuck in the like they stuck in the 12-year-old.
Yeah,
they
my
just
daughter had to sign her name the other day on something that I also had to sign. I said, "Girl, what? That's an ugly signature."
is it I think of all the things that we've done to young people, ruining their lives with social media, allowing them to be ruined by social media, all the other things. I really think one of the cruelest things we've done is they just don't know how to write anymore. They can't write cursive. They can't sign anything.
But they
Um,
never. I know Riley takes notes. But yeah, I write in print.
I write in a hybrid. I realize when I'm reading my stuff, some of those letters are cursive and a lot of print. I mostly print because well, when I'm writing something down that I actually want to go back and read, I'll tend to slow down and do it in print just so I can
Yeah.
write. But even then, I can tell when I'm like in a hurry. And so there you go. There's kind of
But
stamp
back to your
on it.
radio broadcast license.
Man,
I've
listen,
got one. I worked at a radio station in high school, and so I have one from there somewhere.
this is from 1984. So I got this at I guess when it was KVFG.
All right.
Apparently, back then we had to. Was there a test involved with this?
I don't think so. I think you just had, yeah,
You just had to do the application.
yeah.
So there you go. I should send this to KNSU, man. Put that on your wall, bro. There you go. Back in the day when they made us have a license for that stuff.
The only I got a couple of old college IDs, and it's because my hair looked really cool, so I kept that one.
Keep those.
And
Keep those.
I also have my, I guess where my hands are registered, my hands and feet are registered at the Taekwondo World Headquarters in Kukiwon, at the Kukiwon, in someplace in Korea. I've got my black belt ID.
You are not, no.
Yeah, bro. Heck yeah.
Oh, what a great scheme. What a great freaking scheme. You got your hands and feet ready.
That's not really hands and feet. You're just a registered black belt.
Oh, man. Was that did you do that with Master Lee?
I think I may have gotten the registration with Master Lee. I was a black belt before I met Master Lee.
Yeah, he
But
ran.
I also have
Master
the
Lee ran a
shirt.
tight ship. Yeah, he was like an Amway distributor. He get mad if you didn't. Nobody wanted to mess with Master Lee because he could kill you.
Yeah, he made me teach his class. I took it
right.
for PE. I thought it'd be an easy A. But the shirt that I was wearing, I think, you remember when they had like all those Korean print things, or I don't know what it was.
Used to. I still see that. I don't know if it's Korean.
It was in the 80s or something. That's what you thought it was. It was like a Def Leppard type shirt.
Okay.
I'm gonna find that somewhere. I'll find it and bring it.
Registered. You were registered in Korea. That's nice.
That's right, dude. That's right.
That's nice.
The Kukiwon. That's what it's called.
Kukiwon. I was looking at other things here, and I found a little bag of stuff, and it's like you realize, and I threw away a lot of it yesterday, realizing, okay, but some of it I kept. So I found one of my honorary deputy sheriff of Lafourche Parish right there, bro.
Nice.
I think this gives me the right to pull people over. I'm gonna put this in my wallet.
If you'd have had that in your wallet in Berwick,
freaking Berwick, huh?
You could have opened your wallet looking for your driver's license there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not.
I'd have pulled this thing out and say, hey, seriously, you want to go here? You want to go here? Because I am an honorary deputy sheriff. It wasn't even. Oh man, this wasn't even junior. This was okay.
That's full-fledged.
Full-fledged. I think that must have been my grandpa must have had that. They must have given. I wonder. I gotta check. You know what? I might still have authority, bro. Because I'm pretty sure you can hand that down to your family. I'm pretty sure once you're if it's a straight bloodline, I don't know what the law is on that.
If it's not, it should be.
It's a little look, and it's made to go in your wallet. It's a little, nice. I'm gonna pull that out here in the same bag. All right, and this was sort of like, man, the era. You probably did this as well. I had, until I saw this bag, I'd forgotten that I had ever done this. We used to wear denim jackets covered in pins.
I got all the pins, man. I got them all.
Now, I threw a lot of them away yesterday just because, but I did think of a couple things. One, if you had one of those denim jackets covered in pins, that thing barely ever got washed.
No.
I mean, you weren't, right? So if you saw somebody with an older denim jacket covered in pins, that thing might be ripe. You don't, you did not throw it was a process to pull 50 pins off of a jacket.
I went beyond the denim jacket. I had the Guess denim vest.
But you also are registered in Korea. So
exactly.
That was a defiant aura. Those of you that are not, depriving yourself of the video here, this is one of the pins that I would not throw away. That's a Rick Springfield.
Dude, nice.
Living in Oz.
Oh, man. Did you get that at the movie? The movie premiere?
I do not remember.
Living in Oz wasn't a movie. What was the movie?
No, Hard to Hold was the movie. Come on, Juan. Don't. But yeah. So this was that era when he was doing the the inverted triangle.
Uh-huh.
So I felt good about that. You got yourself an authentic
Oh,
MTV.
I have that one. I
That's
have
right.
that one. Yeah,
The
it's the
orange
same
MTV.
color.
There you go. What was the other one? And I don't know where I got. I think what happened too
I
is that
literally, I could, yeah, I'm not gonna, but in
right.
30 seconds, I could run downstairs and grab it. I know
No,
where they are.
you come back winded.
I think
Uh,
they're in my box for my Doc Martens that I had in the 80s.
man. And then once you started doing that, your mom, usually it was your mom, sometimes an aunt would say, "Oh, babe, you collect pins?" And they would start giving you stuff, right? So I'm not gonna throw these away. So dude, this is okay, it's got a bell on it. It's a Terrebonne bell, Terrebonne Parish sesquicentennial, October 9th to the 15th, 1972.
Oh man.
I know. So there you go. So hey, any of y'all out there, you make me an offer on it. No, I'm not gonna sell it because I'm just a cherished heirloom.
It's actually got a bell on it.
It's got a bell on it. Look at that. From 1972. Man, did you know that Terrebonne Parish had a sesquicentennial?
How many, what is that? How many years is that?
I do not feel like. Back in the old days, Juan, we'd have had a video, we'd have something that would pop up right now on the screen explaining it. We don't do that anymore. It's
I think
like,
that
man,
might
that's
be
a
500 or something.
no, can't be, huh? Sesqui. I would do the Siri thing, but my
Let's see. You keep talking.
sesqui.
I'm gonna look.
Well, hang on a sec here. 1822. Okay, they gave me the year here. It's 150 years because it was
Oh, okay.
1820. It was 1822 to 1972. I think I'm doing the math in my head. That's 150 years.
Well, dude, so now they're 202 years old.
Go get it, Terrebonne Parish. There you go. And it only took
They had
that
a
long.
bicentennial.
Only took them that long to get a weenie spaghetti festival. You know how well that weenie spaghetti festival went? They already announced for next year.
Grand marshals, dude. Grand marshals
I
for the
know.
parade.
You know what? I don't think they need us. You would have thought if it came in weak, if it came in like a little, they'd have said, you know what, we probably need to bring Dave and Juan here to pump this thing up. But man, they had a
Pump up the
blowout.
volume.
This was, and again, this must have been from the same era because another 1972 pin. This is Area 4. I don't know, Area 4 Cajun meeting, Lanyap a la Blue, January 1970. How big? I might get without the shining there. How big a meeting do you have to have? I guess that was a thing back then, right? You showed up for a meeting and there you just
Hey, you all had specific, not just the meeting, but by area.
Area 4. This is Area 4. Area 3 suck on it. Okay. This is
Yeah.
Area 4. This is Area 4.
I've heard that Area 2 was trying to change the boundaries just so they could get the right people in their area.
Screw those guys. Screw those guys. Area 4 had a pin. I don't even know what they had. They probably had like, they
had like a little,
sticker.
little
Like
name badge.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is T Bob from Area 2.
Hello, my name is Couillon Chu because I don't belong to Area 4. I'm in Area 2. All right. Don't start with me. Area 4? Hey, man, don't mess with Area 4. Those guys made pins, actual buttons. But yeah, that's just a few of them and just random piano things.
See, I also had from one of a party that I went to, it had a big painted sheet, and I took that and I hung that on the wall in my bedroom, just beside the Rick Springfield poster.
A painted sheet.
And I had pins on that.
We did these things before the internet. This is what you
Exactly.
did. And I actually hung on to, I got a couple here only because there are maniacs out there that anything Disney. All right. So these are like old, that's a Mickey Mouse
Disney
right there.
pins. All right.
Yeah, like old Disney World stuff. And like, I don't want that stuff, but I'm like, sooner or later,
might.
Somebody's going to say, oh, you got a 1975 slightly yellowed Mickey Mouse? Why, yes, I do. Along with my honorary sheriff badge. I'm good. And then I don't know. I remember this pin. I just liked it. It says, join the army, travel to strange, exotic places, meet exciting, unusual people, and kill them.
Does it really?
Yeah. I was always pro-military, but that
Hey.
always, you know what I'm saying? That always had a
It
funny
stuck with
ring
you,
to it.
man.
Yeah,
Yes.
travel the world, meet, to strange, exotic places, meet exciting, unusual people, and kill them. So there you go.
Nice,
That's,
nice. I wonder if that was endorsed by the Army.
pretty sure it was. Pretty sure that would be a good.
That's a
I don't
recruiting
know.
thing.
Now, what are they even recruiting with now? Dance videos and come be, that's basically, it seems like most of the military advertising now is about, come be your best self.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter who yourself is.
That's right. And most of us would be like, no, don't go be yourself. No. Can you shoot a gun? Can you crawl through
Right.
on the barbed
Crawl
wire?
through some mud.
When things get real, can you right? Don't be yourself. Yeah. Ain't no dance videos on the field, bro. But
you forget your own truth.
But there you go. And then I just had to, because while I'm moving stuff around, how did I find it? Where did I put it? Okay. Those of you that are watching on not watching videos, you just missed this. All the whining, all the crying about, remember how they never got my Letterman's jacket that my cousin eventually got me a Letterman's jacket for tennis winning regionals, bro. There you go.
There's your trophy.
That is 1983. There you go. The Quad A Regional Tennis Tournament Singles Champion. Right there, bro.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
So for those of you that always hear me hating on pickleball, this is why. This is what a sport looked like. I had a conversation last night with I'm joking around with my in-laws about, they like pickleball. I'm like, I just, it's pickleball. But I must have cherished this thing because this is the cheapest dang trophy. I mean, it's mostly plastic. Trophies used to be, it's funny. I guess everybody still gets a trophy, or now it's just plaques. Or my kids aren't young anymore. I don't know if they're
the Riley gets medals.
Yeah, medals would make more sense. But that's swimming, though, man. Swimming was always ribbons But there you go. That was in a box. I'm gonna put that. I think I might just mount this back here,
dude. Yeah, it should get you like a floating shelf.
Near the flag. Yeah, I should. And here the other one. And what happened is I threw out a box when we moved from my parents from Cutoff to Thibodeau. In the attic. We had all this stuff, and I had a big box of trophies because obviously.
Well, of course you earned them.
Sure. And I won trophies when they gave trophies to 3 spots. Okay, I didn't have any 5th place, 7th place trophies. All right, where's the other one? Oh, maybe the proudest trophy I ever won in my life, Juan. I'm just going to commemorate it right here. There you go. 2nd place.
What is that? Punt, pass, and kick?
Punt, pass, and kick, man. Punt, pass, and kick.
Not because I had one, but I just recognized it.
2nd place, age 10, 1975. Right there. 1975. It's funny things you can remember. I can't remember stuff that happened last week, but I can remember getting ready to kick the ball on South Lafourche High School Stadium. I think this was sponsored by Tarpon Ford. Ford used to be the nice trophy, man. It's almost like an Oscar. It's like,
That's what it kind of looks like that. That's probably why I remember.
I accept this. This was my miracle on ice type of, because, dude, 10 years old, I might have weighed, I don't know. I don't know. Small. I was not a large individual. I was an average size. Think of large individuals out there. There's no reason in the world.
Right. Well, every year when the Chiefs go to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, they get that video of Andy Reid. I think he was 10 years old at punt, pass, and kick. Looked like he weighed about 250, 6'5".
Dude was huge. Okay, well, I want to say, and I don't think anybody's around. I guess some people are around with it. I want to say Terry Curall. Rest in peace. I think Terry's no longer with us. I think Terry Curall won it. Terry was big. Terry was twice my size, and maybe Archie. I'm trying to think who else there, but I didn't even know they had a contest. It was my cousin. I think it was my cousin Scott.
You just showed up
during the week. I didn't even know what punt, pass, and kick was. I'm living in Galliana. We ain't got no internet. We ain't got whatever. And all their neighborhood, they said, yeah, it's a punt, pass, and what do you have to do? Yeah, you throw a ball, then you kick it, and you punt it, and whoever does the best at that or the most, the farthest.
You're right. I remember that if you went crooked, they had a string. And that's how they would measure.
That's why I won.
Yeah.
No, that's how I won. Oh, how I came in 2nd, right? Because no matter how far you kicked it or punted it or threw it, right, there's the line.
Right. If you were 10 yards off the line, you'd lost 10 yards on the distance.
10. And you can tell by me, Juan, I might not have been big, but
You're
bruh,
accurate.
I was accurate. I might not have kicked the ball as far as some of these guys, but I think I hit the line. Threw the ball, I hit the line. Punted, I was a little bit off, but there you go. I think I shocked. I shy of Bobby Hebert throwing the ball and winning the state championship. Although shout out to Bobby was the quarterback, and forgive me, I forget who caught the ball. You know, when South Lafourche won the state championship at South Lafourche, but it was a Q-Roll. What's his name? Anyway, Q-Roll was the kicker. Somebody had to kick the extra point.
Yeah.
People forget that.
I'm guessing Coach O was blocking.
He was in there. Okay, so I want to say shy of the South Lafourche State Championship game on that field, the second most stunning thing to ever happen on that field was Dave Martin coming in second in the 10-year-old.
The pure accuracy.
Punt. I mean,
still befuddles people.
The fact I wasn't signed right there is a little stunning, but hey, there you go.
The boy might not be able to throw it far, but he could put it on a dime.
But no, it was far enough. I was wiry, man.
Well, that's what kids were doing when you were kids. Let me tell you what kids are doing now. So, we didn't have the internet, but they have the internet even in schools. And my wife told me that during the week, at school they do, they filter the things that you can, access on the internet, as they should.
Okay.
But a second grader, I guess, what are you in second grade, like 7, 8 years old?
Give or take, yeah.
This kid got in trouble for trying to Google hottest naked girls.
Hottest naked
This girls. Kid wasn't going for just any random naked girls.
Yeah, don't waste my time. So tell me something. How did they find this out? Does that just show up? I guess
it flags it and must send a report to somebody.
You're going places, kid.
Yeah.
You're going places. Prison is a place. You're going places. That's well, there you go. Well, thankfully we didn't have that issue when we were growing up, Juan.
We had to worry about accuracy on a punt pass and kick field.
We didn't. Now we're talking about sports, and I want to I don't know why this I saw this week or the last week. So Caitlin Clark, who is the young lady, just amazing. She's and actually I'm a fan. I enjoy the fact that I will watch collegiate women's basketball now before I'll watch men's basketball because it seems like a better game. And she's phenomenal. All right. So I'm a fan. I'm not a big, I don't make points with the LSU folks and everybody loves LSU, and LSU won the championship last year, but that was a terrible, that was a gift. Right. The referees were horrendous, but nobody goes back and look at that. They got the championship. But Caitlin Clark she's just amazing. She's about to, she became the leading scorer in women's basketball, but she's about to become the all-time leading scorer. She's going to surpass Pete Maravich, right, as the leading scorer in collegiate basketball.
The NCAA basketball score.
But here's a couple things that we need to clear up. No, she's not. Pete played men's basketball.
When Pete played, freshmen could not play varsity.
Correct. Oh, but beyond that, okay. Oh, so it's apples to oranges, right? It just is. Okay. You're playing the same sport, but you're not playing. But here's the deal. And don't get me wrong, I've asserted myself as a fan. I think she's an amazing young lady. Maravich, of course, played with no 3-point line.
Right.
He averaged 40-something points a game without a 3-point line.
And how many points if you hit, I guess, the number of and I'm sure there's a stat on that somewhere, the number of baskets he actually hit.
Right. Somebody went back and calculated, because I guess they can do this now, from the places he shot, which would have been a 3-point line. Yeah, exactly. Many of his shots, most of his jumpers would have been in 3-point range. But anyway, he did it in 83 games. 83 games. He said the collegiate, right? She's already played 130 games.
Yeah, there were probably far, far fewer games.
Right. So
and I guess he didn't play he
I just wish they wouldn't do that. Like, take something that even like I said, I think this young lady is amazing, but let's not pretend, hey man, don't dump on Mary. That's a record nobody thought would fall.
It's in the modern era. How about that?
It would never fall with men, by the way, and it never will, because in men's basketball, they're one and done. If
you can score that much, you're out.
Anybody who's that kind of scorer is going to be in the NBA, whereas in the women's side, no, they're not. They're not going. In fact, she's going to take a pay cut to go to the WNBA. But there you go. And that's something else.
Unless, of course, she'd be like, speaking of college athletes, Caleb Williams, the USC quarterback, who is his father, his agent, because
what is it about that? Yeah.
And he's trying to get them to waive the rule for rookie contracts so he can get paid. Earlier in the year or last year, his father was trying to negotiate an ownership deal.
So is it wrong? Is it wrong to root against somebody that you really have no reason to root against?
Right or wrong, I'm rooting against him.
Yeah, I mean, the dude. Now they say the dude made $10 million.
Yeah, last year
in the last couple of years, because he's at USC in California, and the rules change, which is why college men's athletics are just they're trash fire, and they got to do something original to fix it, because it's out of control. But it's weird, huh? Like, you want the upside is, hey, this young man or any young man. Okay, here's the good news. The dude's father is in his life.
Yeah.
Now that's great, but could you shut up? Like, why do you become, it makes you, do you watch TV? Do you know how things work? And I know.
Yeah. It's, if you want to talk about going with an agent who's not an agent, go talk to Ricky Williams. When Ricky hired Master P.
Man, that was so that.
Yeah.
Oh God,
and
Ricky left so much money. He left so much money on the
Ricky's rookie
table.
contract was all incentive based, and he got hurt.
Yeah, and you go into a crap team.
Yeah,
that was when Mike Ditka. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that was some. That's an era that'd be fun to go back and watch, though, because Ditka. And, God love him, but he had that, with the Bears. And that's the great thing about, hey, let's get some of that magic. Yeah. It's like when Bum Williams showed up at the Saints and he was just bringing all the old Oilers over. That's what I meant. Sorry. Bum Phillips came in.
Yeah. He brought over
Earl
Stabler.
Campbell.
Stabler in his prime, drunk on the bench, Stabler.
I remember watching a game with Kenny Stabler. I was in college, and I forget who, I think it might have been with Tim and Ed, and I forget where we were. And we had I don't even know. It might have been a Monday night game. I don't remember the whole thing, but I do remember that I said, I am sure that the defense is going out of the way not to hurt Kenny. Because at that point, you wanted Kenny in the game because you knew you only had to cover the field for about 30 yards. Like, he could not throw the ball down the field. And same thing, we ended up with Earl Campbell. God bless Earl Campbell. I think he'd be like on the sidelines on crutches.
Yeah. His knees probably got,
Earl.
Earl may have good knees if he'd have got out before he played with the Saints.
Earl, get in there and get us a half yard. Now we need 5. We need
talking
5.
About USC and top level players. Did you see that Johnny Manziel is going to boycott attending Heisman ceremonies until they reinstate Reggie Bush?
I don't say this lightly. Manziel's a piece of crap.
Right. Like, I'm sitting here saying, look, I think they ought to give Reggie. I don't think they ever should have taken Reggie's trophy away. Whether or not they reinstate it, I don't have a dog in that fight, but I'm also going to go ahead and bet that the Johnny Manziel boycotting the Heisman presentation event is not moving the needle for the Heisman people.
Look, Manziel is a guy that I enjoyed watching. I wanted him to do well. In other words, like I kind of bought into hey, he's the outlaw, he's the this, he's the that. Dude's a con man. He was a great athlete. Okay. But he's a piece of crap, man. He's not doing this. He could care less about Reggie Bush giving anything back. He wants to be on camera again. That's all he's doing. He went on Shannon Sharp's podcast and, whatever, dude, whatever. Because totally lost any remote respect for him when the stories start coming out. As like Cleveland, God bless Cleveland, right? Man, you talk about a sorry their history with what they draft Manziel first round, right? And he doesn't even watch a video up there. He gets
No.
up, you're playing in the freaking NFL, man. And apparently Manziel he crapped on Sumlin. He said some derogatory things about Kevin Sumlin, who was his coach at the time. But yeah, I think talking about money. I want to say, did I see that clip right where his dad, Manziel's dad, they wanted so much money. It's funny now too how they
he was a trash fire from day one.
but they're coming out now, all these and just admitting what everybody always knew about these guys were getting paid. Like they were getting paid everywhere. So I guess it's sort of talking out of both sides of my mouth there, where NIL is ruining college sports. I guess I could say it was better when they used to get paid off the records. Right?
Well, but now here's where it's really going to mess it up, and I don't want to take us down that whole sports path, but now they're able to negotiate NIL deals in advance of signing. Yep. So that you want to talk about major markets having the biggest advantage.
Well, the way they need to do it, and I forget whose idea it was, is if you're going to do NIL, it needs to come through the university, right? Instead of whether it's a Canes or whether it's a lawyer or whatever paying, because think about it, who are they loyal to? They don't care. They're getting paid by some out, right? They're not even getting paid by technically the reason that they're there.
Kim Mulkey, and forget the Coke deal. Kim Mulkey's got an NIL deal with Gordon McKernan, who is the biggest crash chasing lawyer in Louisiana.
And that's saying a lot because they got some crash chasing lawyers. I don't know if it's a crash chaser. Me and my son joke about it all the time. We're in Houston. They got this guy here. I forget his last name, but his first name is Willie. And I just like having a lawyer named Willie. And I think he's got great billboards. Look, the dude reminds it. Now Jesse tells me it's some rapper. Like some rapper that he says he looks like. But to me, he looks like Cat Williams. I mean, he looks like, like a younger version of Cat Williams. I love his billboards, man. One of my favorite one, it says, "When you really want to win." I said, that's just some creative marketing there, man.
That's
when
good,
you
man.
really,
That's
when
good.
you really want to win, check out this guy. I think I would. We're talking about rappers. Our friend Rick shot out a picture of he was at the
him and Lil Boosie.
So is he Lil Boosie or is he Boosie?
It's just Boosie. I'll always call him Lil Boosie because he used to be Lil Boosie. Now he's Boosie. Boosie bad, whatever.
Honest to goodness, if I ran into the guy in the self-checkout lane at Walmart, I wouldn't have known him. But
no, Boosie's must have been making the media rounds because he was also at one of the other stations that I saw that they posted.
How dare he? You mean he didn't just pose with Rick?
No, he's somebody else. It's he's doing the media circuit for some reason.
I don't know. I sent the picture to my son who was at Nichols, and he said, "Oh yeah, that guy's huge in Louisiana." I thought he was talking about Rick. I said, "Yeah, Rick is huge. Who's that guy next to him?"
Years ago, we owned a little retail video game store for some dumb reason because I wanted to, get rid of a lot of money.
100%.
Yeah. But his stepmom, Boosie's stepmom, had a little hair shop next to us, and she sold hair products targeted to African American women, kind of like the Sallys of whatever. But we just always believed, because Boosie's dad was his agent, so this woman was married to, or Boosie's dad had a recording studio. Back in the Master P days and everything, they had a lot of rap recording artists that did their stuff around here. But she drove a Bentley, and would change her hours regularly, and she would write them with shoe polish on the windows of her store because that's what we always thought this was just this was a money laundering deal. She was seldom open. But Boosie's sister used to come hang out and play video games in my store.
There you go.
Would never spend a dime.
Never spend a dime.
But would come play video games in my store.
Come on now. Your ties to Boosie. There you go, Juan.
Hey,
Like
there you go. I got a
one,
Boosie. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, 6 steps away from Boosie.
when I was growing up, Boosie meant something different. I was the guy,
Yeah.
that's the guy that smelled funny at church in the morning. Like, hey,
Mhm.
how
I
late were
think
you
I
out
think
last?
Rick does like him some Boosie though.
He was quoting, he was that or he was faking it pretty well. I don't know.
Yeah. You could have 3 Boosie songs on the road, and I couldn't tell you who it was.
I don't think I'd get to three. I'd be like, yeah. I'm listening right now a lot too. We got to get out of here. I'm listening a lot too on Sirius FM, XM, whatever it is. John Mayer has got a station
You
now.
got
He
a
does
channel.
channel. But the thing is, obviously they play some John Mayer, but it's
Right.
him. It's his choices, and he talks a lot about music, and um, it's pretty good. And the funny thing is though, when it's somebody you think's cool, they can play songs that you think are crap, but you sort of like, John Mayer said this is a cool song. I must have the problem. It must be me that doesn't understand the channel. My wife's kind of bored. She's kind of worn, and she loves John Mayer, but she's sort of worn out on it now too. She's like,
Well, I saw a video the other night of Taylor Swift playing Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
horrendous.
But did you see
Resnick,
with
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought it was okay.
that was a few years ago. That
Uh,
happened. It could have been 4, 5, 6 years ago. Yeah, it's great when he's singing. When she comes in, you
well,
realize,
the only clip that I saw, I didn't see the whole thing. The clip must have been from a Goo Goo Dolls page because he was
oh,
the only part I saw was him singing.
you didn't see when it went back to her?
Uh-uh.
Awful. And listen, I'm not even hating on her. Like, okay, she has her own songs, but so we're used to hearing your songs, you singing them,
Yeah.
and just be glad Kelly Clarkson doesn't decide to
Yeah.
cover any of your songs because Kelly Clarkson will sing every single Taylor Swift song way better. But that's here nor there. But no,
Well,
that clip.
the only sort of cover I've ever thought was really good of Iris, was when Resnick was on what's Daryl Hall's place,
Right. Well, that's
live from Daryl's house,
yeah. I
and
mean,
Daryl Hall was singing with him.
come
Look at
on.
that.
Yeah, that one will fly. But like I said, I'm not even hating on Taylor Swift, but that was
Well, I'm gonna have
pretty
to go back
rough.
and find the whole clip now.
Oh yeah, no, she comes in and you go like, oh, kick it back, kick it back. That's not but we'll tell that story another time because I think
Yep.
there's a song in one of the recent Google Doll albums from I don't know somewhere in the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm pretty sure he's referencing Taylor Swift when he sings about I met the Queen of Generation Fame. She said, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I forget what it's something about. I don't know you, but I like you. Something. It's a pretty funny, cool song. I saw they actually sang it live in concert, but it's got to be talking about Taylor Swift. But man, on that note, gee whiz,
Gotta go.
gee whiz, we covered everything from Lafourche Parish honorary deputy.
Dude, if ever I get stopped in Lafourche, I'm dropping your name. I'm gonna say call Dave Martin.
Hey, hey, hey.
Call Dave Martin.
And if you're in Texas, just say, listen, I really want to win. Talk to my lawyer. Talk to my lawyer. All right, everybody. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. And if it did, thank you for the new AT&T fiber optic. I wonder if we should get a plug. I should get a discount on my
Just for
on
that.
my internet for that. But anyway, hey, if you want to reach us, y'all, we ain't hard to find. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And you found us before.
You can find us again. Just bookmark this, listen to it, wherever you are, that's where we are.
Where you at? And if you're listening, I mean, just audio, you're thinking, man, I would like to see that Rick Springfield pin that Dave showed.
Bro, that I don't know that I've ever seen one like that.
Man.
That's something to say.
That freaking punt, pass, and kick trophy. Are you kidding me?
Man. If only we had photos of the accuracy of that.
Oh, dude, they'd be showing that on Monday Night Football. They'd be like,
they probably couldn't, they couldn't put the stake in it because it would have busted the little tape measure line.
Busted the tape. They were just like, Dave, you're wearing the tape out. Sorry, I didn't come. I didn't come to play. I came to win. And of course, I'm pretty sure.
Don't hate the player.
And I don't think Terry Curall was that accurate, but he probably threw the ball about a mile. So But yeah, shout out. All right. What are we? Every week. Every week. It's not we're not implying, we're not suggesting, we're not begging you. We ain't freaking begging you.
If there were 11 commandments,
this will be it. All right. It's a freaking
mandate.
Get out there and live your best life, y'all. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Sometimes it's easy to live your best life. Sometimes it takes a little more work. Put in the work, bro.
Right, but it's worth it in the end.
That's right. Life knocks you down. You look up and say, what the hell you doing? You choose. Stop knocking me down.
I bet there's a pin on somebody's blue jean jacket that says just that.
It should. We need to get some pins made. Some pins made. Sort of like the Terrebonne Parish sesquicentennial, whatever that was.
Ring the bell, baby. Ring my bell.
Ring that bell. Ring that bell. All right, we're going to get on out of here. Again, we wish everybody a fantastic week. Come back next week, and we'll do it all again.
We'll do it all over.
All righty, man. Have a great one, everybody. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So literally, while we've been sitting here, my doorbell has rung 3 times. My doorbell never rings. And I'm going to guess I did a little work on my Jeep yesterday, and I had to drain some of the radiator fluid, which I kept trying to find a bucket that would make that convenient to do. And then I said, forget that. I just drove it on a piece of property right next to us and just did it on the ground there. But then, I parked my Jeep outside the garage, or outside my driveway, because in case it was still leaking. Yeah, I don't want that on my concrete. So I parked it kind of on the sidewalk between my house and my neighbor's house. I'm going to bet you any money that's who's been ringing my doorbell.
Bro, you got a toxic cleanup coming ahead there.
Yeah. I might get written up by the HOA for parking my Jeep on the sidewalk.
You got to tell them I needed to park it on the sidewalk. Right. I don't want all the crap that's coming out my Jeep in my driveway.
Right. Antifreeze kills stuff.
You're welcome.
It's over. Go home.